The QSK gas engines are spark ignited. The spark plugs mount in the cylinder heads. The rocker housings, water manifolds, push rods, and crossheads are the same as the diesel version of the engine. The rocker assembly uses a spacer in place of the injector rocker. On top of each spark plug is a COP or coil-on-plug assembly. This design eliminates the high-voltage wires and reduces the chance of misfire. The COPs are mounted on the rocker covers. The thermostat housing on the QSK gas engines also serves as a part of the air system. The log-type intake manifolds are made in sections. Each section covers 2 cylinders. The wiring harness is mounted in square aluminum conduit that runs down each side of the engine. The electronic modules bolt to the intake manifolds. On each side there is a CM558 electronic control module and an ignition module. A sense module is also mounted on the right side of the engine. Two constant pressure type exhaust manifolds run down the center of the engine, one for each bank of cylinders. Each manifold is constructed in sections, with each section covering 2 cylinders. The manifold sections are joined together with bellows that allow for heat expansion of the parts. These bellows are of the double sleeve design, which are non-directional to gas flow. A turbocharger mounts at the rear of each exhaust manifold. The oil supply for the turbochargers comes from the oil manifold at the rear of the engine. Two intake air pipes carry the intake air and gas mixture from the turbochargers to the aftercooler. The two-stage aftercooler is mounted at the top front of the engine. The air filters are mounted to the same frame that supports the aftercooler. Heavy-duty air filters can be remote-mounted. The throttle assembly that controls engine speed is mounted at the outlet of the aftercooler. A bellows assembly connects the throttle assembly outlet to the thermostat housing. Passages in the thermostat housing carry the air-fuel mixture to the intake manifolds mounted on each side of the engine. The gas control assembly contains a gas mass flow sensor and a fuel control valve for regulating the air-fuel ratio. The entire assembly mounts at the rear of the engine just ahead of the turbochargers. The high-temperature coolant leaving the pump flows to a splitter. Piping carries the coolant from the splitter up to the aftercooler. Coolant leaving the aftercooler travels through external piping on the right side of the engine to the coolant connection at the rear of the block. The low-temperature coolant circuit plumbing is mounted on the left side of the engine. The low-temperature coolant supplies only the second stage of the aftercooler. The lube oil filters are mounted on the right side of the engine, while the support for the aftercooler frame is incorporated into one of the oil cooler covers. The coolant filters are mounted on the front of the thermostat housing.